Tell me what the hell are you scared of when in the end the only thing
Where's
that's
the love?
understand
Right here on
love's
this
in the
podcast.
way.
Welcome to Love
Love
Drops,
drops.
where your
Tell me
hosts
the things
and
that
One
you
Love
couldn't
ambassadors,
never
Charles
refuse
and
or
Diane,
waste.
will
Never
share
promise
love,
you an empty
hope,
word
and
that tastes the
inspirational
sweetest. So it's
topics
like
taken from
one
their
kiss
journey
to
and
one
world
shot.
events.
Follow the challenge
We
and
will
fly
also
high.
include on location recordings and
Now
special
because
pop up guests from
we're
cool
the
places
biggest
all
all
around the
around the
world.
world. Never
So sit
let
back,
go.
relax, and
And
enjoy the
enjoy the
show.
show. Whether big or small, love never fails. Oh, love it conquers all. Love never fails.
Welcome to the Love Drops podcast, where Diane and I share the opportunity to introduce fantastic guests to our forever growing listening audience. And with that said, Diane, will you please introduce our guests to our listeners?
Why, sure, Charles, and thank you for that. This is not only a guest, this is a friend. And the cool part is we became friends before she even joined the show the first time. Yes, our guest is a returning guest, and I am so excited to bring her to the mic. So let me tell you a little bit about her. Tomika Snodgrass is an executive leadership coach, motivational speaker, and elite true color facilitator who is passionate about helping women lead with confidence and authenticity. She specializes in empowering female entrepreneurs and business leaders, especially those in a male dominated industry, to fully own their expertise, use their voice, and thrive both personally and professionally. Known for her relatability, no nonsense approach, Tomika equips women with the tools and mindset shifts they need to break through self doubt and step boldly into leadership. She is also a sought after guest on international radio shows and podcasts and was selected as a speaker for the world renowned Leadership Experience Tour June 2021 edition. Tamika's mission is simple: to help women stop second guessing themselves and start leading unapologetically. With that said, Tamika, you have the mic.
Thank you so much, Diane and Charles. I'm so excited to be back with you and looking forward to wherever this conversation takes us today. Diane, it's always a pleasure because you and I talk, and I'm telling you, the conversation just flows. It's beautiful.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So before we got on recording, we decided how we were going to go. And
Mhm.
so focused and unbothered is where we're going today with this conversation. And it was inspired by the one quick tips that you put out there on LinkedIn. And I think right now in our current society, focus is something that many people are losing. So tell us, Tamika, focused and unbothered. What does that resonate for you?
Well, for one, I think it comes over time. So I haven't always been this way. And one thing I'm passionate about is helping other women to get to this place. I think when we first start out, especially, and as we move into different spaces, we're so concerned about what everyone else thinks we should be doing. We're so concerned about how we are perceived by other people. And then you move into a place where you're able to let all of that go and just be genuine and authentic, to just be yourself. And that's what focus and unbothered means to me. It's just living my life intentionally in my own way. I'm focused on what I love to do, what brings me joy, and what makes me happy. And I'm unbothered with what anybody else thinks about that. I've evolved over the years. I've been in the hustle and in the grind 24/7, taking emails in the middle of the night and returning phone calls in the wee hours of the morning. I'm not in that place anymore. Nothing wrong with how I was, And there's nothing wrong with how I am today. And so that's what it means for me.
I love it.
I do too. That lays down such a strong foundation to build on and continuing to build on. And
Mhm.
seeing as though I'm here with a male's voice, gentlemen out there, you're in a support posture. When you have strong women out there that are doing things that are positive, they're not trying to outshine you. They're being the best that they can be. Recognize it, and we can all go forward with that.
Thanks, Charles. And
That's
yes,
wisdom right there.
right,
Yeah.
right. And Charles is so supportive. Charles is like one of my biggest cheerleaders, and I appreciate him very much for that because so many times, and we talked about this, Tomika, people want you to dim your light, dim
Mhm.
your shine, tone it down. You're too much. And I feel that if you're being your true, authentic self, there is no too much. You can't shine too bright because we were all placed on this earth for this life experience to be our unique self. Some of us are going to shine very bright. Some of us are going to carry big voices, big presence,
Mhm.
and others may choose differently. But when you're focused and unapologetically, you're going to be true to yourself. So, how are you doing that in your life right now, Tomika?
Well, right now, I've taken a step back from that hustle life. I have a new granddaughter. She's 1.5 years old, the joy of my life right now. And so I'm just very intentional about being present in this moment. And so that means taking on less clients. I work with who I love working with. That energy is very important to me so that I love what I'm doing. There's nothing like that. And I love the way I'm living my life. I'm intentional about it. I don't want to be all over the place. When I am with my granddaughter, and I take care of her so that her parents can go to work and feel comfortable that she is loved, she's well taken care of. There's nothing like your mama taking care of your baby. That's like your
Come
child is
on.
just right there with you, right? And so
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to do that for my family. That's something that my parents did for me. And that's a legacy that I want to carry on as a family, is just taking care of each other. So that's what I'm doing today. I work with who I want to work with and people that I love working with and people that love working with me. So that's where I am right now. That's what my focus is on. And I mentioned earlier, sometimes we think bigger is better. We're trying to build this big mega business, and we get so caught up in that that we lose focus on everything else that's important. So my focus is on what truly matters. And right now, what matters to me is doing what makes me happy, what brings me joy, helping other women to be confident and bold, amazing leaders, unapologetically, being authentic, being genuine, being themselves. And I'm focused on that precious granddaughter. So
Oh,
that's what I'm doing.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Now, that is truly phenomenal. Adding quality, not
Yes.
quantity. And then
Hmm.
by it reducing stress on whatever it is, you're healthier. You can give more, and be your best authentic self while you're doing it
That's
and
right.
enjoyment thereof.
Yes, I love that. And so, what I have done, because, right now, Charles and I are in the DR. We're wrapping up an amazing stay. We've been here, it'll be 28 days come Saturday, and
What
it
a
has
blessing.
been life changing. Yes, a blessing. And talk about feeding your joy.
Hmm.
Oh, yeah, right. Just feeding our joy in our own unique way because we do things differently. We go places to really get involved in the culture, the people, not so much as tourists. We go as love ambassadors. And because we go in that vibe, we get so much love. We get so much love in every place, that we land. So while being here, I adopted this practice. And what it is a joy scale. So now everything that I do, every plan I make, I put on a joy scale of 1 to 10. And I'm like, how much joy does that bring to me? And I'm honest.
Hmm.
Some things bring 5, 3, 8. There's very few things that just knock out of the park like 10,
Yes.
which make the 10 special. We get close, but those 10s are like for real, right?
Yeah.
And with that scale, what it helps me do is it helps me to balance and prioritize. I'm not getting ready to have a day full of 3 joy scale things. Like everything is a 3. No, ma'am. That's not what's happening. Some of those threes are getting knocked out the park. How do you personally prioritize your day? Things you're going to do and the things you're not doing.
For me, it's really simple. It's just doing the things that make me happy. Of course, there are things that need to get done. I obviously prioritize those things first. I'm a morning person, so I get up and knock those things out of the way immediately. Those tasks that have to get done in terms of running a business and running your household and, being a wife and a mom and a grandmother and all those
Mhm.
things. But then it's about doing the things that I love to do. And it's simple. I don't think about life in terms of the big moments all the time because I don't have
Mhm.
that many big moments, but there's so many little small moments that I think we overlook, like stepping outside and letting the sun kiss your face. If you are a coffee drinker, just standing by yourself and, enjoying the view and sipping on your delicious cup of coffee. Sometimes it's just going to the park and listening to little kids giggle and laugh and play. There's joy all around us, but I think sometimes we get so caught up in making things bigger. We get
Mhm.
caught up in what other people think and what they perceive us to be. And we lose sight of the little tiny things. I
Yeah.
think God created so much beauty for us to see. You're experiencing it right now by traveling the world. God created so many beautiful things: the clouds, the sky, the sun, the grass, the trees, the birds. I could go on and on. We don't even see it. We're too busy worrying and wondering what's coming next. I don't worry about what's next. I'm in this moment right now and loving it. So sometimes it's a small thing that brings me joy, but I prioritize doing something every day just for me that makes me happy.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mhm.
And what you've pointed out from my perspective is that love always wins.
Yes,
Loving the sunshine, loving a smile, loving the voices, the children, and
mhm.
on and on and on. The bottom line, love always wins.
And I love that. Yes, that's
Yeah,
so
right.
beautiful.
Right. We're together. I totally agree. And when you were talking, I just thought, it just took me back on our friendship, and I can hit like one, two, three really key highlights. The first, just meeting you for the first time in person, and we're sitting in this Italian restaurant and we're eating delicious food and laughing and shutting down the restaurant. All of us meeting together, just like in person collectively for the very first time, which evolved into the Fab Five. So it's a blessing when you can have a collection of women that just shine and you just shine together and it all just makes a brilliant shine and you're just
Yeah.
really there for one another, right? That in itself is a gift. The second time is you and we met to go walking early in the morning and we walked the streets of Belleville
Yes.
and we came upon, I'm trying to think of what those animals that we came upon at the lake. Were they birds? It was a collection of them. Or were they
They weren't birds. Oh my goodness. They were so cute. I don't know if were they goats or sheep or something
that
like
like sheep, something like that,
Wow.
right? Yeah, something like that. And they were all kind of just like herded, together. And we just stopped and looked, and it was just like a gift for us, like
Yes.
just like a gift for us to just view part of our experience. And then we went and had coffee and just laughed. And then I think the very last time that we were together, we met at a local ice
Mhm.
cream coffee shop
Yeah.
near where you're located. And we just sat there and laughed and just had the best time
We closed them down
ever.
too, by the
We
way.
closed it, right. I was going to say that we closed them down as well.
Yes.
And they were like, no, don't rush. It's fine. Just, be here. We got, cleaning up to do.
Yes.
And yeah, so it's just like when we come together, we're intentional about being with one another. And I guess we're intentional about shutting places down. uh, but yeah, it's just like it's an intention. And what I love about our time together, if the phone comes out, is just to take a picture. We're not texting, we're not distracted, we are present in the moment. We
Yeah.
just stay in the now.
Mm-hmm.
And so, what I'd like to just, because you are so wise and you have those one quick tips, just one little thing for you. So, what would your one thing be for just staying present and just staying in the now for people that are listening? Because we have so many people that think multitasking is just the way you get so much done with doing many things. And you and I both know that's not the truth. So, what's your one tip for just staying present, staying in the now?
I'm going to make it very simple based on our conversation today. My one quick tip for staying present is to choose yourself first. That's my one quick tip. Sometimes we put ourselves last, or we don't even think about ourselves at all. We don't take care of our health and our well-being. We don't reach out to people that we love. Make the phone call, send the email, send the text. If somebody crosses your mind, I say, if God speaks that person's name into my spirit, I stop what I'm doing and I call them right
Mm-hmm.
then. I don't wait. Be intentional about how you spend your time, because that's the one thing that we don't have any control over. We don't know when our time is up. We can't get more of it, right? When it's
Yeah.
gone, gone. So be intentional about your time and what you have, and choosing yourself. Prioritize your joy and your happiness, and everything else will come together around that. So that's my one quick tip. And I think people would experience, even in chaotic times such as this, because we're living in perilous times right
Oh, yeah.
now,
Oh, yes.
right? It's hard. You see the news and what's going on, but there are still so many beautiful things out there for us to experience. Look at you traveling the world right now in this crazy time, but
Yeah,
there's joy out there. So choose
Mm-hmm.
yourself. You're choosing yourself, and that's what I'm doing. I'm choosing what I want to do and how I want to live my life. And everyone can do that. That's possible for all of us with just that one small thing.
Yeah.
I know Diane and I, we've had that conversation time and time again
Mhm.
about those, we gave it a name, vampire time
You
stealers,
said energy vampires.
energy
Energy
vampires.
vampires.
Yes, energy vampires. And we have had that conversation ongoingly. You say, well, wait a minute, everyone has approximately 1,440 minutes a day. Now, how do you divide that up? Who gets what parts of those? And
Mhm.
how much do we keep for ourselves?
Mhm.
Yeah.
That's so true, Charles. And also, there was something I read or came across a while back, and it talks about your front row. And it's
Mhm.
like, be intentional about who you let in the front row of your life,
Mhm.
right?
Yes.
Everybody does not deserve a seat in the front row just because you're nice and just because you're this or that, just because maybe the world sees you as all that, that does not mean that you get
Mhm.
a seat in my front row of my life, right? You have to be intentional about that. And another thing with that is know that front row rotates. Everybody not in that front row for a lifetime. Some people are
Ooh.
just in for a moment. So they just, it's like maybe one scene of your life. And then
Mhm.
somebody else is maybe for a season. Somebody
That's
else is
right.
maybe sitting there holding it down from start to finish. But
Mhm.
you have to be intentional about who you allow access to you.
Absolutely. And you want to curate your inner circle,
Yes,
right? It
ma'am.
needs to be the right people who are aligned with your goals, your experiences, your vision for your life. And that changes over time because you change. We evolve, we grow.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And everybody's not growing with you, and everybody's not clapping and cheering for you either.
Come
So
on now. Come on.
find the people who are,
That's right.
and that's
That's
so
right.
important. That's funny that you mentioned that. I made a post on LinkedIn about that, I think a couple of days ago, just that very thing that you're talking about. We spend time chasing after people who are no longer meant for us. Let
That's
them
right.
go. And it's okay. Grieve. You can grieve that friendship is gone or whatever, but
Mhm.
let that go and allow space for someone new to come in who will be much more aligned with you and who you are
Absolutely.
today.
Absolutely. A dear friend of mine's passed while we were here in the DR, and I'm still working through that grief,
Yeah.
but I'm at the place of gratitude in my grieving process. And by that, I mean, I'm just grateful that I had the opportunity to have such a force of life to
Mm-hmm.
shine with, you know? I know that for me to get stuck in a slump, she would probably just do a cosmic slap, right? Like, girl, you better come on now. You not remember this? No, 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 don't put my name on that. You know
That's
what I'm
right.
saying?
Mm-hmm.
So her name was Marie Treat Garrett, and she is the voice that you hear in the intro and outro of our podcast singing.
Oh, okay.
And I remember we interviewed her probably about 3 or 4 years ago. And, she was saying, everybody ain't your people. She said,
Mm-hmm.
your tribe, will find you
Yes.
in so many uncertain terms. I'm taking creative liberty here. And, she's just like, allow it to align. Don't give your pearls to swine. She said, that's what my mama used to say. And I used to say, lady, what you talking about? And she said, but now I understand.
Mm-hmm.
I
Yeah.
understand. And when I tell you, she lived her life. She lived her life. She did what she loved. She loved what she did. And it's like, as a result of that, right? As a result of being focused and unbothered on
Mm-hmm.
the life that she wanted to have, she now leaves a legacy with the world because now you can go out there and you can hear her
Mm-hmm.
music. You can hear her songs lean into love, no regrets, and just more
Mm-hmm.
and more and more. You could not put her into a box. She fit into no genre. She's some
Mm-hmm.
folk, jazz, R&B, classically trained pianist.
Mm-hmm.
She lived her life, right?
Beautiful. Mm-hmm.
And so when you have people like that in your life, it calls you to be better. It invites you to step up.
Yeah.
It invites you to shine. Just like we spoke earlier about how you have people that wanted to tone down, just become smaller, right? But then on
Mm-hmm.
the flip side of that, you have people that call you out. They say,
Yes.
hey, Tomika, come to the stage. And you're like, whoa, that's a big stage. And guess what, girl? You can handle it. Come on,
You can handle it.
bring your light on out here, right?
Mm-hmm. Right.
Yes, and while your message is so simplistic in nature to help women stop second guessing themselves, I'm pretty sure the impact thereof will be felt worldwide.
Thank you so much. Yes, I
Yes.
certainly hope so. That's my desire. Yes.
Look at your daughter. Your daughter is out there getting it. My
Yeah.
daughter is out there getting it,
Yeah.
and that is what I think as women that are out here empowering and doing the thing, the women that are in our lives, our daughters, our granddaughters,
Mm-hmm.
our nieces, the women that we have taken on to mentor and lead, right? Our students, our clients, our
Mm-hmm.
friends, right? We are going to make sure that we shine there.
That's
We
right.
shine there, you know, and it's not a light of competition. And I want you to hit on this for me. I tell my daughter's like, Mom, she said, Mom, I'm gonna be just like you. I said, no, ma'am, you need to be better than me. My
Mm-hmm.
granddaughter said, Nana, I'm gonna be, no, ma'am. I want you to shine brighter because you have your light, and I want you to take my light, and I want you to stand on my light, and I want you to shine brighter. No, you need to shine bigger,
Yeah.
brighter. Talk to us about that for a minute.
Right. And that goes back to what we talked about being genuine and being authentic and just being who you are. And so for me, with my daughter, my son too, but my daughter in particular, I've always made sure that she had that voice, even from a little girl, giving her that space to speak up and say what's on her mind, to disagree with me and anybody else that she did not agree with, and the older folks back then thought that was disrespectful. You're going to let her say that? Well, that's her opinion. She's voicing herself. So I never snuffed that out. And I think that's so important for our girls when we talk about letting them shine. Let them have a voice. Show them how to use that voice unapologetically. Be bold,
Yes.
and then you won't raise daughters and nieces and young people who feel the need to shrink. When
Yes.
someone tells them to tone it down, they'll be able to say, no, I'm
Right
good
on.
enough just the way I am. I
Exactly.
don't need to tone it down. This is me. Take it or leave it. I'm unbothered. you
Take it
know,
or leave it. I'm
take
unbothered.
it or
This
leave
is
it. I'm unbothered.
me, Tamika.
Yes.
This is
This is
me.
me.
And
Hmm.
gentlemen, recognize these shining stars out there.
Yes, yes.
Recognize it. It's
And Charles,
there.
I love what you said earlier when you talked directly to men who are listening as well,
Yes.
because that support is everything. So it's not just me as a mom, but my husband as a dad with his daughter, letting her know it's okay to be who you are. You're beautiful. Nothing about you is wrong. They need to hear it from all of us.
That's right.
That's
That's
right.
right. And the thing about it is a lot of times it's like, oh, you are aggressive. I like assertive over aggressive.
I
Okay.
do too.
I like you bossy. I like leadership
Yes,
qualities, right? So,
yes,
when I am talking with my granddaughter, who is now 12 years old, we have frank conversations, let me tell you, and I love it. I learned so much from her. Shout
yes.
out to Naima. And
Aw.
of course, we also have Naraya. She's my youngest granddaughter. And the conversations that we have, because I have created a stage where they can come and they can speak their mind, their heart, their soul.
Hmm.
Baby, you can say whatever it is you need to say. I will hold it in confidence for
Hmm.
you as long as it's nothing that is harming. If
Nothing
it's about
dangerous.
harm, your
Hmm.
parents will be notified. And I'm gonna let you know. We jokingly say snitches get stitches. And so like they'll say that they were like, Nana, okay, you're not gonna tell because snitches get no baby, I'm not gonna tell. And
Right.
I let them have that space. My only requirement, you can talk as loud as you want, you can say whatever you want. My only requirement is that you will be respectful and you
We,
will be kind.
that's
Those
right.
two things are going to happen. I have the obligation to
Hmm.
advocate for those points with you. And I think because so many have dropped the ball, not blaming, just naming, okay? The
Hmm.
ball with respect and
Hmm.
kindness. We see a lot of younger generation where people they're saying what they want to say and it's like it's no problem what you're saying but it's just like put some respect on it or put a little kindness on it but if
Hmm.
they're not called into accountability to do so, then they're not. We must teach. Each one teach one, and the teachers
Hmm.
will become the students. So, what I say to anyone that's listening right now, that if you see a young person and maybe they could use some love, then give them a little love, not judgment, but just give them a little love. Let them know
Hmm.
you see them. I see you. Oh, yeah, I see. Hey, what's that tat you have? All right, what is
Hmm.
that about? Instead of why you have that tattoo, oh, that's inappropriate or whatever. Maybe it's inappropriate to you, but you don't know the meaning
Hmm.
behind it.
That's right.
So being focused and unbothered is being non-judgmental. And that's what I want to end our discussion about, just throwing off the judgments. So, how do you simply do that?
The way I do it is kind of what you just said, just inviting them to share and to be open. And I choose to listen. So do more listening than talking, because if you invite your young folks to open up and share with you, then be open to listening to what they have to say. And like you said, we can comment about the respect and the kindness and the compassion, but let them share their thoughts and their ideas and their feelings. It's important because if you shut them down, they're not coming back to you to share anything. So
Absolutely.
let them talk, let them open up, and you'll be surprised at what you learn. And you'll also be surprised at those opportunities for mentorship and
Yes.
leadership and guidance and intertwining your own wisdom into the conversation as well. And that's where growth happens. So that's what I would say about that.
No,
I love it.
Yes, that is fantastic. And it reminded me of some lessons I've learned as a child. We have 2 ears and 1 mouth. Listen twice as much as you speak.
Love it. That's
Yeah,
right.
it goes a long way.
Yes.
That's good advice right there.
Right,
Mhm.
right.
Mhm.
So man, we could go on and on.
We
We
always
know
do.
we can. We do. And I said, oh boy, okay, I'm coming on with my girl Tomika. Let's hold true to the time. Because as you mentioned earlier, time is priceless. It's non-refundable. So we appreciate you for yours, Tomika. I appreciate you because you truly are true blue. You speak and live the words that come out of your mouth. And I appreciate that. I appreciate you every time you show up for me. And I appreciate you allowing me to show up for you as well. And, I just appreciate that we're shining and our light is contagious. And so let's keep doing it. Let's stay focused. Let's stay unbothered. Any last words for our listeners?
Well, first of all, I want to thank you and Charles for having me. What a great conversation. And it's always so valuable to me to be able to sit down and have conversations like that with the two of you. So I just thank you for that. And Diane, I want to give you your flowers because you are shining and you're such an inspiration. You both are such an inspiration to so many. And I see you and I hear you. And so I just want you to know how grateful I am for our friendship. And we did not connect by accident. I believe that.
Oh, yeah.
It was meant to happen. And we don't talk all the time, but you know that anytime you reach out and say, I need you to show up, we're going to show up for you, your
Absolutely.
circle. And I'm glad to be a part of that. And so for our listeners, I would just say, be who you are and don't worry about what other people think because other people will always have opinions, but that doesn't matter. Be your true, authentic self and continue to find joy and happiness in your life.
Wow, now that's enough that they could take to the bank.
That's right. Take it to the bank, right?
bank.
I know why you laugh, and I am too. And if you want to know why Tamika's laughing, then I'll put the show that she was on prior, and it'll give you some insight. And that's all I'm going to say about
Thank you.
it. So, yes, for our listeners, do check out Tomika. Although she is not taking new clients at this time, she is also just a wonderful resource for conversation, for connection, and for just those one simple tips. So you can link in with her on LinkedIn, or you can just check her out. We'll put a link in the narrative and you can check her out that way. Spread the word. And if this episode resonated, please share the love with others. And if this podcast resonates, please subscribe and share that if that resonates for you. And in the meantime, in between time, we're going to thank you for your time today. Charles and I are going to sign off. Thanking again Tomika for being our guest. And we sign off with one love.
Never a second will I waste, never an opportunity to taste the sweetness of this life.
Thank you for tuning in to the Love Drops podcast. Be sure to follow this podcast and share the love with everyone you know. Until next time, this is Charles and Diane signing off. One love.
Love it conquers all, whether big or small. Love never fails. Oh, love it conquers all. Love never